Now that we've talked about budgeting, I've talked about things to consider when you're looking for your house. The next question I would love to ask is, how did you find affording a mortgage? Like, did you use a bank? Did you use how did you go about getting your mortgage?
Okay, so it's still boils down to information.
Okay.
Internet, searching and making inquiry.
Yeah.
So I used we call them, I think, First Mortgage.
Okay.
Like a mortgage broker.
Okay.
Sort of, yeah. So I called them up.
Okay.
Yeah, because I started viewing houses before I was ready. I started viewing houses before I was ready. So, and it was still that Deacon Femi, that told me this. Go and view as many houses as you can, register.
Okay.
Just put your interest. They will call you to come and view.
Okay.
They ask you, do you have a mortgage in principle? You just tell them no, but you are working on it.
Okay.
You will view.
Okay.
So that gave me this insight of what I really wanted.
Okay.
The kind of house I wanted, where I wanted to have my house, because I viewed houses. I saw a lot of things.
Okay.
So one of those times, the salesperson asked me to call. I think I should speak to First Mortgage.
Okay.
And they will help me with getting my mortgage set up. And that was how I knew about them.
Yeah.
So I called them, and they ask about your current condition, your pay, your visa status, how much you earn. Are you buying with your wife?
Okay.
Does she have income as well? Okay. So when you combine your income and your wife's income, then they'll tell you, okay, we think you can get a mortgage. The house you are looking at, how much does it cost? Okay. How much are you looking to borrow? So with all those information, they will help you to apply for this mortgage and then tell you that you've gotten a mortgage in principle, which is that's a document that you take to the builder or the sellers of the house to show that they are serious about buying this house.
Okay.
So when they see that you have MIP, then they take you serious.
Okay. So, makes sense.
Yes, that's the way it works. Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you're able to get.
Yeah. So those guys advised and helped me get my mortgage, and it became serious that I'm serious about this journey. Okay. So I was now like this, going to view houses, like, guys, I have MIP, so can I see your house?
Okay. So before we get carried away, sorry. Oh God, Mr. Chike is funny.
Well, that's the way it works. When you have stuff, when you have substance, you have pride in you.
Oh, my MIP, please. Okay. Let's be serious. Okay. So the next question I want to ask is, did you take advantage of any government schemes? I'm aware that there are different government schemes available for people that maybe work with the NHS or work as firefighters, things like that.
Yes, so they call them key workers.
Yes.
So key workers.
That's the one.
Yes, key worker. So the first government scheme that we took advantage of was the lifetime ISA.
Yes.
As one, we talked about that already.
Yeah.
Then the next one is, because my wife works with the NHS.
Yeah.
So we got some form of discount from the builders.
Okay.
So if you're a key worker, most builders will give you 5%.
Okay.
If you're buying a new home, a green home, so they give you 5% off your deposit.
Okay.
So by right, you should bring 10% to buy your house.
Yeah.
But they give you 5% off because if you're a key worker. Then some other persons can get 3.5%, 3%, depending on how you negotiate or depending on the offers they have on that house.
Yeah.
So we got that, and then that was also helped us to get this house.
To get the house. Yeah. Wow, okay, that's good. So information. Information is powerful.
So another thing is, buying old and buying new.
That was the next question.
Yeah. So I went deep into this topic. Should I buy a new build? Should I buy an old build?
That is actually an interesting argument.
It is very interesting.
Interesting argument.
It is very interesting. Yeah.
A lot of people are for, a lot of people are against.
Yes.
So I love to hear.
Yeah. So I think
why you chose a new home over the old one.
It was easy. So I went to see first one, new homes, outright 10%.
Yeah.
So a home of say 300k. Or say £300,000, for instance, is the cost of the home, 3-bedroom, semi-detached, for instance. If you're buying it as a new build, the builder will give you some discount. So 55% of that will be 15K.
Yeah.
You're bringing.
Yeah.
You're buying it as an old build, 30K instantly.
Yeah.
Now, that's one. Two, the new build has this national building insurance.
Okay.
For 10 years.
Okay.
Plus 2 years insurance on warranty, basically.
Okay.
So you get 12 years of warranty on most new builds, or almost all the new builds.
Okay.
So whatever structural defect that happens on that house for that period, you are covered.
Yeah.
The old build doesn't have that.
Okay.
So if you buy that house and maybe there's something that was hidden that you did not see, and then you finish paying the cost, the boiler cost, maybe it's a heating problem, electrical problem, flooding, whatever, it's on you.
Yeah.
You pay for it.
Yeah.
But here, as a new build, you basically they come and fix it, as long as it's under that period of warranty.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that made me, because when I moved here, the first house I lived in the UK was cold. Guys, it was cold. It was EPCD house.
Yeah.
I was wearing cardigan and jacket inside the house. It was a horrible experience.
A lot of people don't know.
They will not understand.
A lot of people don't know that when you come into the UK, this is also a mistake that, an experience I had as well. Because when we first came in, my husband rented a place without checking the energy certificate.
Jesus Christ.
So my husband didn't take advantage of that. So there are things called energy certificates in homes.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to rent a house, you need to check the energy certificate to be sure how
efficient,
how energy efficient
that
the house
is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anything A, minimum
C. You're good.
It's okay.
You're good.
C is okay. B is good.
Yes.
A is fabulous. Yes. Anything below that, guys, please.
So the property was a D, but it felt like an F or even an E. Because you had mold in the house.
Oh,
it was cold. It
yeah.
was cold. It was a bad experience for my children and I.
Oh, I
was
can
spending
imagine.
so much money heating.
Yeah.
I said, I'm never going to do this again. If I'm buying a house, it has to be a very energy efficient house.
Exactly, yeah.
Where you can stay in your house with shorts and singlets and you're okay.
Yeah.
That alone
without burning
heater. See, now we're here, it's warm, right?
Yeah.
No heating, it's on.
I think I'm sweating.
I'm not sweating, no heating. But if it's an old build, you can't.
No, I'll have to put on a jacket or wear a sweater or something.
These are some of the things that and then the new builds also come with these photovoltaic panels, that's the PV panels.
Okay.
What do you call it? The solar panels.
Yeah.
That's the common name for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when during this summer now, whatever your usage is subsidized by that solar panel.
Yeah.
Your lighting, your electric burners, your microwave. It helps you save energy.
You are very pro new house.
So it's no, you can't. So the argument people talk about when you say old and new, they say old new houses are so small, they're not spacious. It depends on the house you're buying.
Yeah.
I
mean, this one is spacious.
There are new builds you see, they're spacious, they're well built, they're well put together, and you have 12 years. In fact, within that 12 years of your warranty, you're moving to a new house if you want to.
Yeah.
So what's the point of buying an old build and it's not even cheap? The old builds are not even cheap. So I'm a pro new build. I wouldn't go for the old build for anything. Unless maybe the old build is say 5 years, less than 7 years.
Okay.
I can consider that. Yeah, 10 years max.
20?
No. Once it's beyond 10, I'm not doing.
That means 100, 200, no go area, not for you.
No, for me.
What if it's very well refurbished rather? What if their energy rating is B or A?
Okay, that's another story. If they've done a lot of
work
on the old build, and they brought it up to standard, you can consider it.
Okay.
But you should also know that the risk of any breakdown in that house is on you. You should have a lot of money on your emergency fund for heater, because the boiler will be old.
True. What if they change the boiler?
Okay. Well, the internal insulation, the internal wiring.
What if they change that as well?
It becomes a new build. Then it's a new build.
Okay.
In disguise.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I had a list of questions I wanted to ask, but I'm finding as we are just talking,
The things I just
a lot of the questions are being answered.
Yeah.
A lot of them are being answered. Because we're also supposed to talk about this new build and old build argument.
It's for me, I think it's
a no-brainer for you.
New build, yeah.
Okay.
They are better.
Okay.
Because also the areas where these new builds are situated are new areas, new facilities, you know, new playgrounds. The people that come to these new builds, see them, they are most well-to-do people.
Yeah.
You are sure that your kids, the PTA, the Parent Teachers Association in the school around will be strong.
Yeah.
Because these people want the best for their children.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, there are people that you can relate with.
Correct.
Yeah.
People don't think about these things. You know?
Yeah. Can I ask, like when you were buying your house, or when you decided to buy a house and you started this process and even, you know, dealing with them, decided the house to buy and all of that, we've talked already about some of the decisions or things that, you know, made you decide on this house. Now I want to ask, like, what was the most challenging part for you? Like, did you find actually finding a house that fits your...
It was challenging. That was the most challenging
part.
Was
that the most challenging part?
The money was there to buy the house.
Okay.
Our deposit was secured.
Okay.
The problem now was seeing the house.
Okay.
That fits everything we're looking for.
Okay.
Do you know I reserved the house and the last minute I cancelled the reservation?
Oh, okay.
I reserved the house for 2-3 weeks. I paid the £500 reservation fee.
Okay.
But I told him I was pulling out.
What happened?
So, you know when you see a house that you want to manage, you should not do that. That was a mistake I almost made.
Okay.
When your heart is telling you this is not it,
okay,
listen to yourself, listen to your heart and move.
Okay.
So that property had no, it was cheaper than this one we're staying now, but they had no garage.
Oh.
They had no garage. One, the sitting room, which is a parlor, was very small. Two, if you go to the bedrooms, the wardrobes, where I was imagining the property, the load I have, where would it fit in this house?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, you have a wife. It's a crime for you to buy a house.
Oh my God, my wife was like,
the wardrobes
small. Were small,
yeah,
the sitting room was small. I was like, where would I keep my children's bicycles, all the toys they have? Where would I keep? No garage in this place.
Yeah.
What would I do with them? Yeah. My wife was saying, okay, we can buy this
like a shed.
Like a shed.
Yeah.
It wasn't working.
Okay.
It wasn't working. Yeah. So I kept going. And then they told me that the garden is slopey. It'll be slopey. Oh. Yeah, it was at the edge of somewhere, and we'll be sharing fence with
several things.
I said no. This is giving. Do not go. Do not proceed. Do not proceed. Okay. So at the last minute, I pulled out when I saw this house. The very day I came here, I was like, this is where we want to stay. So we just pulled out. Yeah.
Okay. So you saw that house before you saw this one?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the first. I saw that house before I saw this one.
Okay.
Yeah. We've come here. This was our first area.
Oh, okay.
But the houses we are seeing, we are way above our budget.
Oh, okay.
Way above our budget.
Very expensive.
We are depressed. Like, I want to live here, but I don't want to spend this kind of money to buy a house. No. This is my first area of choice. But my sister, if I pay that kind of money for a house, so at the last minute, and that was how we went for the house because we couldn't.
You didn't see anything that was your budget.
Exactly. Yeah, that was why the budget is important, and you should have what you want to spend on. You shouldn't just because I want to buy a house, you go and put yourself in something. You should pay your mortgage comfortably.
Yeah.
Without breaking the bank. You shouldn't struggle to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you are struggling to pay your mortgage, then you shouldn't have bought the house in the first place.
Yeah.
It should be within your means.
Yeah.
This is my policy. So that because the mortgage I pay is some people's rent. You know, people in England. That's England people, don't vex. The mortgage you pay here is some people's rent. Like even more than their rent. And that 2-bedroom flats, they are paying more than what we pay on mortgage in this place. So why not?
I mean, I understand. I understand what you mean. All really good points.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Is there anything or is there any mistake that you see that a lot of people, new immigrants in the UK make when they want to buy their house? Is there any?
Yeah. So I can think of a few. I think the first one is people believing that some people think that you just consider the cost of the house alone.
Okay.
I want to buy a house of 200k. Whenever I sell the house, I'll buy it.
200k house, yes.
No, don't make that mistake. the area where you're buying your house is very, very important.
Yes.
Apart from the school that we talked about, apart from your kids growing up in that area, the chances of the house appreciating as well.
Okay.
In some areas is next to zero.
Yeah, okay.
Even after 15, 20 years, the house price will still be
the same.
Just there.
Yeah. Around the same.
Yes.
It's not depreciating even.
Exactly. So there are some places you buy your house, you know that you have good chances of this property appreciating.
Yeah.
So you have to consider that. One, it might be difficult to get in those areas. Yeah. Ask yourself, why is 2-bedroom 200k in here and then 350k in another place?
Yeah.
They have seen something. There's something that's making those price differentials. Yeah. Either the school in the area, or the way the houses appreciate in the area, or the kind of life and amenities that you have in that area. Yeah. So consider these things. Don't just save money and just go and buy anywhere. Ask questions. Why is this house cheap? This house that is 200k, that is big like this.
Why is it cheap?
Why is it cheap?
Yes.
You need to know why it's cheap. Because
why is that one expensive?
Yeah, the same model, the same builders. Say Barrett, for instance, same builders. You have a house in this place, 200k.
In another place,
same kind of house,
view,
350, 500.
Yeah.
Why? You think they're stupid?
No.
They're most wanting. So you have to do your checks and balances. All right. So this is one thing I think people do. Just buying because they can now afford the house. They don't check those things. This is one. Secondly, don't buy under pressure.
Okay.
Don't buy under pressure. Don't buy a house that you will struggle to pay the mortgage on because the bank will take it when you begin to default.
Yeah.
It should be something that you pay without breaking the bank, without breaking your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without struggle.
Without calling Brother A and they don't give you, you're angry. In this country, you can't ask somebody to help you pay mortgage or pay rent. It's difficult here.
Yes.
So you should be able to handle that yourself without calling anybody to help you.
Yeah.
So if the cost of the house you're buying is way, way above what you can afford, even though the house might be beautiful, reconsider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe when your income, when your circumstance changes, you can go for that. And number two, you don't have to start from the top when buying a new home. It's your first time buyer.
Yeah. Okay.
Start from where you are. Start from what you can afford. You can always sell that house, do part exchange when you are more comfortable in the UK.
Yeah, and you plan to move to England.
Yeah.
And sometimes
it's very easy to move.
Sometimes too, jobs
can also change.
Can come up and you need to move anyway. So
of course, you can get another job in another city that you need to move.
Yeah.
But as a first-time buyer, don't buy the perfect house because there will be room for improvement.
Yeah.
The more you stay in this country, the more you know.
Yeah.
The more you learn. You're just coming in. Don't assume you've known everything.
Yeah.
When you interact with the locals, you speak with people at work, you begin to know a lot of things.
Okay.
Then you will begin to know that you need to move.
Okay.
So your first home should not be your last bus stop.
Okay.
So wherever you are, start with what you can afford that is comfortable for you.
Yeah.
After some time, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 5 years, you put the house in part exchange or you sell it.
Yeah.
And then you get a better one. By then you have better jobs, you have things are better for you, you're not going to be under pressure paying that mortgage.
Yeah.
And you'll be good.
Okay.
So two. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's something that all of us we need to actually just think about as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes, trying to buy the perfect house as well, you can just be paralyzed.
Yes.
Can lead you to what they call is the buyer paralysis.
Correct.
You just stay for 3 months and you're not able to make a decision.
Yes.
I understand that.
You'll be stuck. You have to just decide and move. It mustn't be perfect. Yeah, there will give and take. Some things that you have to have a list of things that you can live with.
Yeah.
And things that you cannot live with.
Okay.
Once those things that you need, the mandatory ones are met, you can compromise on the other ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you should have the ones that you cannot compromise on.
The must-haves in a house. If it's the area, if it's the size, if it's there must be some the budget. Some must-have. Some people say I cannot buy a house above 250k. That's one of the must-haves.
Yeah.
Right? You have that one. Have another one. If you meet 1, 2, 3 of those your must-haves, the other ones that are maybe you can live with that.
Yeah.
As you progress, you can change that.
Yeah.
You can change the house.
Yeah. You can add something.
Because you need to begin to build equity. This is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
See, let me give an instance. The house I lived before I moved to my house, I was paying £750 per month as rent in that house.
Yeah.
I lived in that house for 1 full year.
So some people would think when you say this that you pay £750 for a house, they'll say, "Oh, how is that possible?" Because what they see online is, houses like London or England where you have to pay 1,500 for a one-bedroom flat.
Things are better here.
Yeah. So guys, we are in Scotland.
We're in Scotland though. So this was a two bedroom, was a pretty new house.
Yeah.
EPCB.
I did come to the house.
Yeah, it was EPCB house.
Yes.
Beautiful house. So I was paying 750. It was even high because of the newness of the house.
Yeah.
So 750 without bills though. Yeah. So I paid that money for 1 year. 750 times 10, 75.
Yeah.
All right. Times 12 is how much is that again?
1.5.
1.5, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about £8,500. I paid that for 1 year. Now I left the house without anything, no equity. I've helped the landlord to pay his mortgage for 1 full year.
But you see, this is also the reason why we should be homeowners.
This is
why we should be the ones renting out the house.
Seriously.
Plan to.
I said no, this cannot continue. I have to move. I have to start building equity, because if that was my house, for instance, that 1 year I've paid that thing has contributed to my equity.
Yeah.
If I move out of the house, I'll get something back.
Yeah.
If the house has appreciated.
Yeah.
So, but if it's a rented apartment for 10 years, 15 years, you get nothing.
Yeah.
You get absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
What
do you have to say to people that feel that, houses are too expensive now in the UK? We see a lot of that on social media.
Yes.
And in the news as well. Houses are not so expensive.
I just laugh.
People can't buy houses. They can't. What do you have to say? Because every day people are buying houses.
People are buying houses every day, and and they're not breaking the bank doing that.
Yeah.
They are doing normal job like you and I.
Yeah.
Dedication, decision. See, discipline. Once you decide on something, go for it.
Yeah.
Some people will say, "Why should I buy a house?" You cannot live under the bridge. You must pay rent.
You can't live under
you live under the bridge here. You have to. It's cold. It's cold outside. You must live in the shelter. So whether you buy a house or you don't buy a house, you will live in a shelter. You pay
can't live
somebody.
under the bridge.
You can't live under the bridge.
I'm taking that home with me today. You can't live under the bridge.
You can't. You pay. Either you're paying somebody else's mortgage or you're paying your own.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So the church is yours. If you want to be paying somebody else's mortgage by paying or living on rent, good and fine. Good for you. But we don't want to do that.
But for some people, there is also this argument about buying a house and renting. I feel I should mention that for those that might be watching that are thinking about it as well.
Yeah.
Some people are thinking, if I rent a house, responsibility, right? I have to take care of the house. I have to do everything myself.
Yeah.
But you've sort of covered that talking about the insurance that you get.
Yeah.
You've sort of covered that as well.
Exactly. So if you buy a house, I think you become more responsible. This is your property now.
Yeah.
You treat it with care.
Yeah.
Right. If you rent a house, well, I know people will say the other cost of running a bought home is more than the rented home, because if you rent a house, if the heater breaks down, the landlord should come and fix it.
Obviously.
All right.
Yeah.
So those costs are not on you as the tenant.
Yeah.
But if it's your home that you bought, you will obviously fix it.
Pay it, yeah.
But why would it be a problem if you have a house that have a 12 years of
12-year warranty
covering you?
Yeah.
You'll be fine for that 12 years. If you buy a new build, that 12 years is enough time for you to save money and have some balance, some money for emergency fund to fix things that that obviously will break down in the future.
Yeah.
So, give or take, it's always better to buy a house if you can afford it.
Yeah.
I think affordability is about decision. Once you decide to do something, you'll find a way around it.
You'll find a way to
That's
do
the human nature.
Yes, true.
You've not decided.
Affordability is about decision.
Okay. Once you decide that, guys, in the next 2 years, I want to buy a house, you will find a way.
Okay.
Humans, it's not human beings. Yeah. We are wonderful. You must find a way around it. Yeah? Anybody that you don't have time for is a person you don't want to have time for.
Yeah.
You can't say you don't have time. It's 24 hours. If you want home buying to be your first thing, the priority in this UK, I'm telling you guys, you'll find a way around it. It's just for you to decide and move.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, how has your mentality changed being a homeowner? Back in Nigeria, we used to say shoulder pad. Shoulder pads are like these pads that are under suit jackets that take your shoulder, make your shoulder go up.
Like this, you're puffed up.
Yes, puffed up, yeah.
You're not puffed up, really. So what I think happens is when you become a homeowner, the economy, things, the banks, getting things becomes easier.
Okay.
Getting credit becomes easier.
Yeah.
Because they feel you are now more responsible.
Yeah.
If you apply for a loan, it's way easier to get it.
Yeah.
Business loan, car loan, whatever you want to use the money for, you get approval easily.
Because you have a home.
Credit card you apply for, they approve it instantly. I'm telling you. So once you have a home, it changes a lot of things about your finance, about your way of getting money in this country. They respect you more.
Yeah.
The banks give you more facilities to do things.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. That alone is a game changer. You don't have to necessarily, because you're still paying the mortgage every month. So you're paying. It's not like you bought the house outrightly.
Yeah.
You're paying. So you're still paying the money.
Yeah.
But your mind changes.
Yeah.
Peace of mind. I can decide today now, I want to hit a nail on this wall.
Yeah.
It's my home. I can do that.
Yeah.
If you're renting a home,
you can't do that.
They will tell you.
And I can imagine what's allowed for you. Yeah. Especially because you've got boys. You've got boys.
You know what it means to have boys in this country? They are restless. Hormones are jumping up and down.
Yeah.
You have to, and you're thinking of how to put the house in order when you're living.
Yeah.
You know, but this is your home.
Yeah.
You can.
Nobody's coming
to tell you today's
check,
inspection. You go at home to do inspection. Inspect the house.
They don't come and check. They don't say, "Oh, there are marks on the wall."
Yeah, there are marks on the wall.
Your deposit,
your deposit is gone. This. Nobody's telling you have to be at home by so and so for them to come and inspect the house, whether you're keeping it in shape.
Okay.
You are past that.
Okay. Can I also ask, like, what unexpected costs came with home ownership?
Furnishing. Things are expensive.
Of course they are. We're in the UK.
I didn't believe that some things would be that expensive until I went to price them.
Are you serious? You know, when we saw it on TikTok, it just looked... I think one of the videos, you were trying to fix up something for the kids to use and play. Like, it just looks like you've got everything in hand. You've got, you're doing all these things without stress.
I'm doing all those things because it is expensive to call out a workman in this country. Do you know the cost they quoted for me to fix curtains and blinds?
Are you serious?
Let's not go there.
No, please go there.
To install this panel, I did this myself.
Yeah.
The quote I got for this panel. I said, if I pay this, I'll go back to Nigeria. It's not possible. So I learned to do things myself.
It actually makes me curious. Like, how much did they ask for you to pay for them to do?
I saw online they quoted for them to do not exactly like this. They call it a media wall, media something. It's fine actually.
Okay.
£5,000.
£5,000.
£4,500.
For them to fix
media wall.
Just for them to fix it up.
£3,000, depending on the type you are selecting.
Just for them to fix it up.
Yeah, come on, fix it there. You know, it's £5,000.
£5,000. I mean, if you're buying a home and only paying 5% deposit, that's almost 5% deposit for some homes.
The kind of quotes you receive when you to fix things. So it is expensive to call out handymen.
Yeah.
I found that here.
Okay.
Buying a home.
Yeah.
So you have to do things yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to go into DIY, watch videos and do it.
Yeah.
Because when you call 2 or 3 handymen, you are down by 7K, 4K.
Yeah.
It's expensive. To assemble things, to fix blinds, to fix curtains, to fix lights, they are expensive.
Okay. Did the things that changed for you, were they just, about the furnishing? What about the things like council tax? Did they change?
It changed. Hey, so council tax went from band, I think was band C, because the A is the lowest, followed by B, and then C, B, and E. Yeah. So we went from band C to here is band E.
Oh.
So from £156 to 240 or thereabout.
Oh.
Yeah. So the council tax goes up as well.
Oh.
Yes.
See, when I was renting a house, like, because we've not gotten to the buying stage yet.
Yeah.
So when we're renting a house, the way you say you should have your must-have, right? For me,
council tax
and A, B, and then energy rating. Yes, C.
Maybe C. Yes.
Energy rating, the same thing. A, B, or C. Anything beyond that, I would have run away personally.
So in this new build, I think the lowest council tax you have in the new build area is band E.
No.
Yeah, band E. So that's the lowest you see. I only say band D. Yeah. So
you see that's another 4 old homes.
Yeah.
Another plus.
I agree. I agree. But I'm not buying an old home. So the council tax went up.
Okay.
Right? Then there is, because of how this place is, it's like an estate.
Yeah.
So there's a monthly maintenance, fee for the people that maintain the grass, the greenery.
Okay.
They come, they trim it, they clear the ice when there's snow.
Yeah.
They clear that, they put salt on the road.
Yeah.
So you pay another money for that. I wasn't paying that when I was renting.
Yeah.
So that's additional money for landlord.
Yeah.
I pay that. Then which other money, extra money? I'm not sure. I think those are the major two that I think are different. Yeah. Council tax and that
things have changed.
And then energy bills.
Oh, okay.
Energy bill.
Energy bill is higher now or lower?
This is a bigger house.
Okay, it's a bigger house.
It's a bigger house. So you spend more money heating it and spend more money with the gas and everything. So it's a bigger house.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Those are the things. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's pretty about the same thing because of the solar. This and it's helping.
Okay.
But it's still higher than my former place.
Your former place. Okay. If you were to buy another property now, because I feel like there's a tribe in Nigeria where you come from that I love to be associated with, because when you have a relationship with them, you know that they're always about the money.
You know how it is.
Always about making progress. Always about the wealth.
People, that's how.
Yeah. So, and I know that's where you're from. So I know this next question is not out of place. If you were to buy another property, which in the back of my mind, I believe you're planning to do. Yes. Is there anything that you would do differently from what you did this time?
Yeah, so if I'm to buy another property, it will be buy to let.
Okay.
It wouldn't be. Are you talking about the house I want to live in or?
Anyone.
So if I were to buy another property, I think my plan is to buy a house for let.
Okay.
Buy a house, upgrade it.
Okay.
Increase the value of the house and rent that out.
Okay.
Just to be having side income.
So you most likely buy old build then?
Yeah, of course. Buy old build, do things, make it nice.
Refurbish.
Pimp it up, refurbish it.
Yeah.
And then it moves from maybe say 100k to 130, 140 in valuation. Yeah. And then the rent goes up as well. So that's the next thing. Yeah. Okay. I'm not buying. I like this house. I like this area. So I'll be here for a long time.
Okay.
But the next house I'm buying most likely will be buy to let.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, so let me rephrase the question in another way. If let's say you've gone through the experience and you were to do it again for you to leave.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would do differently?
Well, I think the only thing I would do differently is to have more deposits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask why?
So, if you have more deposits, you pay less money at the long run.
Okay.
It's like if you are borrowing £200,000 from the bank, all right, for about 25 years.
Yeah.
You're not going to pay the same interest as when you're borrowing 50k from the bank. You pay less money. That's one. Number two, I think you also get what they call loan to something to value. I've forgotten it. So the capital you bring, the deposit you bring, affects in most cases the interest you get.
Okay.
And the money you pay at the long run. So if I'm to buy a new house, I would want to have enough capital.
Yeah.
So that I pay off that money to reduce the interest I will pay in the long run. Yeah. So that is what I would definitely do. Okay. I wouldn't buy a house that I don't have up to 30-40% deposit.
Okay.
To put down.
Okay.
Yeah. It will help you. To help the interest rate you're going to get. Okay. To help the money you're going to pay eventually. Because the whole idea is not to pay too much on interest. Yeah. So that's one thing I'll do differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
Information so far.
Yeah.
The last thing I just want to ask is, I saw your TikTok.
Yes. Guys, I'm on TikTok. The hustle is real.
Can you tell us what inspired you to go into TikTok? Why did you decide to start TikToking?
So I've been a very official person.
Yeah.
All my life, formal about LinkedIn, it's my LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn job, this, that. I said, no, it's fun. Let me just. So I downloaded TikTok. I'm like, this thing looks fun. Yeah, it looks fun. So I started documenting my life, my time with my boys, my wife, and it's been rewarding. Do you know that the TikTok video I made for this house has gotten up to almost 60k views now? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the builders saw it.
Okay.
And they've come here to interview me.
Are you serious?
On this property, on this house, they want to use the video for their
maybe
other
adverts or
marketing.
things like that. Yeah, marketing.
So the marketing team have reached out to me and they've asked me about what I love about the house and everything, all from that video on TikTok. So it's a life. So I want to just do something different.
Yeah.
Not be uptight, all about ties and suit. Nah, I just want to just have fun, play, and live.
It actually looks like you're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And there are a lot of DIY pictures as well as information and comic things. Yeah. So guys, please check out Chike
on TikTok. Yeah,
I'll put it on the screen and also
please follow. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. Yeah. Let's have fun together. Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's been a wonderful time here. Yeah, thank you.